I heard my girlfriend's voice through the door. "He's going to propose tonight," she said, laughing. "Watch how I tell him no and make him cry." I froze outside our apartment, grocery bags digging into my palms. My heart just broke. We'd been together for 4 years. The ring was in my jacket pocket. I walked in like nothing had happened. Lauren was sitting on the couch, laughing on FaceTime with her old college friend Megan. "Hey, you're home early," she said quickly, ending the call. "Yeah," I mumbled. "Didn't hit much traffic." She smiled, completely unaware that my world had just fallen apart. That night, I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. Her words kept echoing in my head. "Watch how I tell him no and make him cry." I was supposed to propose at her parents' house on Sunday. Dinner, family, laughter, the perfect moment. Now I could barely look at her without feeling sick. Lauren kept asking what was wrong, touching my arm, saying I looked pale. I wanted to yell, to ask her why she'd do something like that. Why waste 4 years just to destroy me in front of everyone? But I stayed quiet. I smiled, I lied, and I pretended everything was fine. That night, I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the little ring box on my nightstand. 8 months of saving. 3 months of excitement. Her dad had even hugged me when I asked for his blessing. "Welcome to the family, son," he'd said. I wanted to laugh, or cry, maybe both. Sunday came faster than I wanted. I didn't feel anything anymore. No anger, no excitement, just this heavy, empty calm. Lauren talked the whole drive to her parents' house. She told me about a coworker's breakup, her mom's new recipe, some podcast she liked. Her voice sounded normal. Too normal. Every word cut a little deeper. How could she sound so happy when she knew what she'd planned to do? I gripped the steering wheel until my knuckles turned white. Part of me wanted to pull over and turn back. Another part of me needed to see it, to prove I wasn't crazy. When we pulled into the Bennett's driveway, she reached for my hand. "You've seemed off lately," she said softly. "Everything okay?" I forced a smile. "Yeah, just tired." Dinner smelled incredible. Her mom had made pot roast, my favorite. I pushed the food around my plate, pretending to eat so no one would notice. Mr. Bennett talked about his golf score. Her little sister, Chloe, showed everyone pictures of her new puppy. Lauren laughed at something Chloe said. For a second, she looked like the woman I fell in love with. Then she turned to me. "Right, Ethan." I hadn't even heard the question. I just nodded. "See, Mom?" Lauren said, smiling. "Told you he'd agree." Her mom laughed. Her dad looked at me with that proud father look, like he already saw me as part of the family. The ring in my pocket felt like a brick. "Ethan, would you like more salad?" Mrs. Bennett asked kindly. "No, thank you." "It's great, but I'm good." Lie, I hadn't eaten half my plate. Under the table, Lauren squeezed my hand 3 times. Our little secret code. It meant "I love you." We'd made it up on our 2nd month of dating. I pulled my hand away and reached for my glass of water instead. Lauren's smile faltered for half a second. Mr. Bennett wiped his mouth with his napkin. "So, Ethan, how's that big project at work coming along?" "It's going well," I said. "We presented it Friday. The client was happy." "Good to hear. You've always struck me as a hard-working man." That stung more than I expected. This man had called me son. He'd trusted me. Lauren's mom leaned forward. "You know, we were just talking about taking a trip for our anniversary," she said. 40 years married. "We're thinking Italy." "That sounds amazing," I said. "Maybe you two could join us," she added with a grin. "Wouldn't that be romantic?" Lauren let out a nervous laugh. "Mom, don't start." Her mom waved it off. "I'm just saying, it'd be fun. 2 couples in Italy." The room went quiet. Everyone was waiting for something. Everyone except Lauren. They all thought I was going to propose that night. Chloe broke the tension. "I think Ethan and Lauren will figure things out in their own time. No rush, right?" She was only 23, but smarter than the rest of us. Mr. Bennett chuckled. "Of course, Ethan knows what he's doing." Lauren glanced at me, her expression unreadable. Nervous? Guilty? Expectant? "I'm going to use the bathroom," I said, standing up. "Second door on the left," Mrs. Bennett reminded me. The hallway felt smaller than usual, lined with all their family photos. Lauren as a kid, her graduation, and one of us on the beach last summer. Chloe had taken that one. Lauren wore my shirt over her swimsuit, laughing while I held her from behind. We'd looked happy. Had any of it been real? Inside the bathroom, I gripped the sink and stared at myself in the mirror. I looked exhausted. Dark circles, messy hair, the shirt she'd given me for my birthday. I pulled out my phone. 3 messages from Tyler. "Did you do it yet?" "She say yes?" "Congrats, man." He didn't know. No one did. I opened my voice recorder app. The file from Thursday was still there. I pressed play. Lauren's voice came through clear. He's going to propose tonight. Watch how I tell him no and make him cry. Megan laughed. You're evil. He's just been too much lately, Lauren said. He needs to understand who's in control. I stopped the recording. I'd already listened to it too many times. Someone knocked on the door. Ethan, you okay? It was her. I shoved the phone into my pocket. Yeah, just a second. I just wanted to check, she said from the other side. You've been quiet all weekend. I opened the door. She stood there in that blue dress I'd bought her for her birthday. She looked perfect. That made it worse. I'm fine, I said. Just tired from work. Are you sure? If something's wrong, you can tell me. Her eyes searched mine, looking for a sign, a clue, something. Was she trying to see if I knew? There's nothing, I said flatly. Let's go back. We returned to the table. Dessert was ready. Apple pie, my favorite. Just in time, Mrs. Bennet said cheerfully. We didn't want to start without you. We ate in silence. Lauren tried to start conversations, but no one seemed interested. Everyone felt that something was off. When we finished, Mr. Bennet stood. Ethan, can you help me take out the trash? That was supposed to be the moment. The one where I'd tell him I planned to propose. He'd have smiled, maybe hugged me. Instead, I followed him outside, feeling like I was walking into a storm. The October air was cool. Mr. Bennet dropped the trash bags into the bin. Nice night, he said. Yeah, I muttered. He turned to me. Ethan, I can tell when something's wrong. Talk to me. My chest tightened. This man didn't deserve to be dragged into this mess, but he already was. Mr. Bennet, I said quietly, I need to talk to you about something. Just not tonight. Is it about Lauren? Yes. Are you two having problems? You could say that? He frowned. I don't like hearing that. She's my daughter, but you're like family. If something's wrong, I want to help. You'll know everything soon, I said. I just need some time. He nodded, concern in his eyes. Whatever it is, I know you'll handle it right. He patted my shoulder and we went back inside. Lauren was helping her mom with the dishes. Chloe was on the couch scrolling through her phone. I think we should go, I told Lauren. So soon? She asked, surprised. We haven't had coffee yet. I have an early meeting tomorrow. But it's Sunday. Different time zones. It's with a client overseas, I lied. Lauren hesitated, then nodded. Okay, let's go. The drive home was silent for the first 10 minutes. Lauren stared out the window, scrolling on her phone. Then she finally said, What was that tonight? What was what? I asked, eyes on the road. Your mood. You barely spoke. You were cold. And what did you say to my dad outside? I kept my tone flat. Work stuff. She let out a short laugh. You expect me to believe that? I don't care what you believe. Her voice sharpened. What's your problem lately? I gripped the steering wheel tighter. Words burned on my tongue. I wanted to tell her everything. That I knew. That I'd heard it all. That I'd listened to her plan to humiliate me. But I didn't. Not yet. Just tired, I said. It's more than that. She turned toward me. You've been distant since Friday. Ethan, what's going on? I finally glanced at her. Is there something you want to tell me? She tensed. What do you mean? I don't know, I said. You tell me. Ethan, you're scaring me. What are you implying? The light ahead turned red. I stopped the car and looked straight at her. Do you love me? She blinked. What? Of course I do. Why would you even ask that? I just needed to hear it. The light turned green. I drove on. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw her unlock her phone and start typing. Probably texting Megan. Probably saying something went wrong, that I hadn't proposed. Good. When we got home, Lauren went straight to the bedroom. I stayed in the living room, staring at the small ring box on the coffee table. I opened it. The diamond caught the light. A simple 1-carat stone on white gold. Inside, our initials were engraved E+L. I closed it and set it aside. Lauren came out in her pajamas, hair pulled up. You coming to bed? In a bit, I said. I've got some work emails. Ethan? Yeah? Are you sure you're okay? I nodded. Yeah. Go to sleep. She hesitated, then disappeared into the bedroom. I waited until I heard the door close, then opened my laptop. If she thought she was the only one capable of playing games, she was wrong. I logged into our shared bank account. We'd opened it for rent and bills. 3 cash withdrawals caught my eye. $500, $300, $700, all from the past few weeks. All withdrawn by her. I opened a spreadsheet and started documenting everything. Dates, amounts, locations. Then I pulled up Facebook. Her best friend Megan's profile was public. 2 weeks ago, a photo of them at an expensive restaurant. A month ago, a party I hadn't heard about. Lauren had told me she'd been home that night. I switched to Instagram, then TikTok. She had accounts I didn't even know existed. On one, she'd posted a photo of us at dinner with the caption, "Dinner sponsored by my man," except I'd paid for everything. Another read, "Living the life I deserve." Her friends commented things like, "That ring's gonna be massive. Girl, get what's yours." I took screenshots of everything. Then I opened my phone contacts and scrolled to Tyler's friend Kevin, a tech guy who owed me a favor. I texted, "Can you recover deleted messages from a phone if I have physical access to it?" He replied within minutes. "Depends on the phone." "Why?" "It's my girlfriend's. We share bills, lease is under my name. Technically gray area. But yeah, I can do it. Thanks. I'll bring it tomorrow." I set the phone down. From the bedroom came Lauren's steady breathing, peaceful, unaware. I walked to the kitchen, made coffee even though it was almost midnight. I wasn't sleeping anyway. While the coffee brewed, I searched online. Signs of emotional manipulation in relationships. One article listed 20. Lauren checked at least half. Gaslighting, guilt-tripping, financial control, emotional withholding. How had I missed it? Because I'd loved her. Because I'd believed we were a team. My phone buzzed. A message from Tyler. "So, how'd it go? Did she say yes?" I typed, "Nothing happened. I'll explain tomorrow." He replied instantly, "Everything okay? Just tired." I closed the laptop, took a sip of coffee, and stared out the window. The city lights blurred through the glass. Somewhere out there was someone who would never play with my heart for fun. Lauren wasn't that person. And the sooner I accepted that, the sooner I could start healing. I picked up the ring box again. The diamond shimmered under the lamp. Then I put it in the drawer of my desk. Not to return it, not yet. I'd wait for the right moment. Because if I'd learned anything that night, it was that timing was everything, and mine was coming. Monday morning, I left before Lauren even woke up. I scribbled a quick note and stuck it to the coffee maker. Early meeting. See you tonight. At my desk, I tried to focus on work, but my thoughts kept circling back to her. By 9 a.m., Tyler showed up with 2 coffees. He dropped one on my desk. "All right, man, spill it. Why didn't you propose?" I forced a shrug. "Changed my mind." "What? You've been planning that for months." "Things change." He narrowed his eyes. "Ethan, what happened?" I hesitated. Tyler was my best friend since college. I trusted him, but not enough to tell him everything. Not yet. "Just need to figure out some stuff first," I said. He leaned back. "That sounds bad." "Maybe it is." Tyler studied me for a second, then nodded. "All right, I'll back off. But if you need me, you know where to find me. Thanks." At 10 a.m., my phone buzzed. It was Kevin. "Bring the phone at lunch. I've got the software ready." The problem was getting Lauren's phone. She kept it glued to her hand like it was part of her body, so I texted her. "Want to grab lunch today?" My treat. She replied 5 minutes later. "Can't. Lunch with the girls from work. Tomorrow, maybe?" If she was with her friends, she'd have her phone right next to her. Impossible. I thought for a minute, then called her. "Hey," she answered, her voice cheerful. "Hey. Just checking if you left your charger in my car. I found one this morning." "Nope, mine's here. Maybe it's yours." "Right, yeah, must be." "You okay?" "Yeah. Busy day. See you tonight." "Love you," she said. I hung up without saying it back. That afternoon, I sat in the office of Richard Torres, a family lawyer Tyler had recommended. He was in his 50s, calm, professional, the kind of man who didn't waste words. "So," he said, leaning forward, "tell me what's going on." I told him everything. 4-year relationship, shared apartment under my name, joint bank account, the conversation I'd overheard. "Are you married?" he asked. "No." "Any kids?" "No." He nodded. "That simplifies things. Legally, you can end it whenever you want. The joint account is the tricky part." "How so?" "She has equal rights to whatever's in there, unless you can prove the money came from you. I've got pay stubs and deposit records. That'll help." "Start documenting everything, especially any withdrawals you didn't authorize." "I already did." "Good. My advice? Open a new account in your name only. Move your funds gradually, not all at once. She'll notice if you drain it overnight." What about the apartment? Lease is under your name, correct? Yeah. Then she's considered an informal tenant. You can serve her a 30-day notice to vacate. It's the cleanest option. Do I need a formal notice? Yes, keeps you legally protected. I took notes as he talked. The consultation cost me $200, but it was worth every penny. That night, Lauren came home late, around 9. How was lunch with the girls? I asked. She smiled. Good. They said hi. Where'd you go? The usual cafe near the office. Lie. Her location on our shared GPS showed she'd been at a fancy restaurant 20 minutes away. What did you eat? Salad, trying to be healthy. Good idea. She sat down next to me on the couch. Ethan, we need to talk. My stomach tightened. About what? About you. You've been distant, cold. Is this about work? Work's fine. Then what is it? I looked at her, really looked at her. She was still beautiful, but I couldn't unhear her laughter on that recording. Are you happy? I asked. Her eyebrows pulled together. What kind of question is that? Just answer. Of course I'm happy. Why wouldn't I be? I don't know. You tell me. Ethan, you're being weird. Where's this coming from? I stood up. Forget it. She sighed. If something's wrong, talk to me. Don't just shut down. There's nothing to say. Fine, she said, standing. Then I'm going to bed. She stormed off. 5 minutes later, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. Ethan, it's Chloe. Can we talk? Lauren's sister. I texted back. Sure. What's up? Not by text. Can you call me? I stepped out onto the balcony and dialed. Chloe? Hey, she said quietly. I hope it's okay that I called. I just need to ask. What happened Sunday? What do you mean? Lauren came home upset. She said you ruined dinner. I didn't ruin anything. I believe you, Chloe said quickly. That's why I'm calling. Something feels off. She's been acting strange lately. Going out more. Spending money she doesn't have. My chest tightened. What kind of strange? She was nervous before dinner, like she was waiting for something. And after you left, she got angry. Called someone and whispered for a while. I couldn't hear much, but she said your name several times. You know who she called? No, but it wasn't anyone from the family. I exhaled slowly. Thank you for telling me, Ethan. Is everything okay? Not really, but it will be. You're not going to tell me what's going on, are you? Not yet. But soon. Okay, she said softly. Just be careful. Always. I hung up and stepped back inside. Lauren was sitting in bed typing on her phone. When she saw me, she quickly set it down. Who were you talking to? She asked. Tyler, I lied. Work stuff, right. I went to take a shower. The hot water didn't help. My mind kept spinning, replaying every red flag I'd ignored. When I came out, Lauren was either asleep or pretending to be. I lay down on my side of the bed, the same bed we'd shared for 3 years, and stared at the ceiling until my phone buzzed again. Tyler. You sure you're okay? You can tell me anything. Tomorrow, I replied. I promise. Okay, man, I'm here. I turned off the light but didn't sleep. The next morning, I was at the office before anyone else. I typed Lauren's name into Google. Nothing unusual. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Then I searched Megan. Her Instagram was public. Photos of trips, brunches, selfies, and there, Lauren smiling beside her in a bar 3 days ago. Caption, Girls' Night. We needed this. That same night, Lauren had told me she had a migraine and went to bed early. Another lie. I kept scrolling. A photo from 2 months ago. Lauren at a dinner surrounded by men I didn't recognize. The caption, networking. Networking? Lauren worked in HR for a small firm. She didn't need networking with guys in suits. Then I saw a tag. Brandon Chen, CEO of a tech startup. I clicked his profile. Photos of conferences, offices, luxury vacations, and one photo with Lauren from a month ago. She never mentioned that event. The truth was forming, ugly and undeniable. Lauren wasn't just planning to embarrass me. She was planning her exit, and she already had a replacement lined up. The ache in my chest turned cold. Fine, I thought. Two can play that game. At 10 a.m., Kevin called. Got time to swing by? I think you'll want to see this. I'll be there in 30. Kevin lived downtown in a one-bedroom apartment overflowing with computer monitors and half-empty energy drink cans. When he opened the door, he grinned. Man, you look like you haven't slept in a week. I haven't, I said, stepping inside. He gestured toward his desk. Sit. You're going to want to see this. He clicked through folders on his screen, a dozen windows open at once. So I managed to pull the deleted messages. Took me all night. You got them? Oh yeah, thousands. Mostly boring stuff, but then there's this. He opened a conversation between Lauren and Megan. The timestamps went back months. My stomach tightened as I read. Lauren: Brandon asked me to dinner again. Not sure I should go. Megan: Why not? Daniel doesn't have to know. Lauren: You're right. It's just networking. My pulse quickened. A week later, Lauren: He offered me a job at his company, triple what I make now. Megan: Are you going to take it? Lauren: Maybe. It's in San Francisco, though. Megan: And Ethan. Lauren: He doesn't fit in that world. Brandon's different, successful, powerful. Kevin glanced at me. You okay? Keep going. More messages appeared, one after another. Lauren: Ethan's been talking to his friend about a ring. Megan: He's going to propose? Lauren: Yeah. I'm not saying yes. Megan: What? Why? Lauren: He needs to learn he doesn't control everything. Megan: That's cruel, Lauren. Lauren: It's necessary. If I accept now, I'll never get out. I clenched my fists until my nails dug into my palms. Then came the newest messages, just days old. Lauren: He didn't propose. Something went wrong. Megan: Do you think he suspects? Lauren: Maybe. He was weird all night. Even my dad asked if we were okay. Megan: What did you tell him? Lauren: That Ethan's stressed from work, but something's off. I need to find out what he knows. Kevin exhaled. There's more, man. Messages between her and Brandon. He opened another chat. Brandon: Lunch this week? Private place like last time. Lauren: You're terrible. Brandon: You love it. Lauren: Maybe. I stopped reading halfway through. That's enough. Kevin nodded and printed everything, sliding a thick envelope across the desk. It's all in there. Timestamps, screenshots, backups. How much do I owe you? Nothing. We're friends. Just promise me you'll take care of yourself, all right? I will. Outside, the air felt colder than it should have. I sat in my car, opened the envelope, and read the messages again one by one. It wasn't just betrayal. It was strategy. She'd been planning this for months, lining up her next move before cutting me loose. My phone buzzed. Lauren: Where are you? You said we'd have lunch today. I typed back. Got caught up with a client. Tomorrow. You promised. I know. Sorry. Whatever. I'll eat alone. Good. I tossed the phone on the passenger seat and drove straight to the bank. Inside, I opened a new account under my name only. Transferred half the money from the joint account, $20,000. The teller looked hesitant. Are you sure, sir? That's a large transfer? I'm sure. After that, I toured apartments. Found one 15 minutes from work. 2 bedrooms, quiet neighborhood, available in 2 weeks. I'll take it, I told the agent. You don't want to think about it? No need. I signed the lease, paid the deposit, and left with new keys in my hand. When I got back to the office, Tyler was waiting by my desk. Okay, man, he said, crossing his arms. Enough secrets. What's going on? I closed the office door and handed him the envelope. He read silently for several minutes. His face hardened with every page. Finally, he said, Jesus, Ethan, I don't even know what to say. Don't say anything. What are you going to do? End it, but on my terms. He nodded slowly. Need help? Maybe? Not yet. Tyler squeezed my shoulder. Whatever you need, I'm here. That night, I got home around 10. Lauren was watching TV, a glass of wine in hand. You're late, she said, not looking away from the screen. Work ran long. You've been working a lot lately. Yeah. I sat down beside her. Hey, quick question. Do you know a guy named Brandon Chen? Her body stiffened for a fraction of a second. Then she turned. Who? Brandon Chen, CEO of Tech Vision. I thought you met him at that conference last month. Her eyes narrowed. I don't know anyone by that name. Really? Must have been someone else. She stared at me. Why are you asking about him? One of my clients mentioned his company, said they were hiring an HR, thought you might be interested. I'm not looking for a new job, she snapped. All right, just asking. I turned back to the TV. I could feel her watching me. Ethan, she said quietly. Are you checking up on me? Why would I do that? I don't know. You've been acting weird. I'm fine. I feel like you don't trust me anymore. I looked at her, expressionless. Should I? Of course. We're together. You're right, I said. My bad. I stood up. I'm going to bed. She stayed on the couch, pretending to focus on the TV, but her hands were shaking slightly. In the bedroom, I opened my email. There it was. The draft eviction notice from Richard Torres. I reread it. 30 days to vacate the premises. I replied, looks perfect. I'll use it soon. Another email popped up from the apartment agent. Lease approved. Move-in date confirmed. 1st of the month. 10 days. Lauren walked in an hour later and got into bed without saying a word. I pretended to be asleep. She picked up her phone and started typing again. Fast. Probably texting Megan. Probably panicking. Good. Friday morning, I told her I had to fly to Chicago for work over the weekend. Chicago? She repeated. Since when? Last-minute client presentation. When will you be back? Sunday night. Can I come with you? It's just business meetings, she sighed. Fine. I packed a small bag, kissed her cheek, and left. But I didn't go to Chicago. I went to Tyler's place. We spent the whole weekend planning. Every step, every possible reaction. By Sunday night, everything was in place. All that was left was to pull the trigger. Monday morning came, and for the first time in months, I felt calm. Not happy, not angry, just focused. Lauren thought I was in Chicago. In reality, I was sitting in my office downtown waiting for 9 a.m. An email popped up from HR, department meeting, conference room B, 10 a.m. I grabbed my coffee and headed up. The room filled quickly, chatter echoing off the walls. Our manager, Robert, stood at the front. Morning, everyone. I want to introduce someone who will be working with us for the next 6 weeks. She's helping review internal processes and structure. He gestured toward the door. This is Andrea Ruiz. A woman stepped in. Early 30s, dark hair tied back neatly, simple gray suit. Confident, but not showy. Good morning, she said. I'll be conducting individual interviews this week. Don't panic. It's just to understand workflow and communication. Her voice was calm, clear. No fake smiles, no fluff. After the meeting, she approached me. Ethan Martinez. That's me. Can we chat after lunch? You're first on my list. Sure. At 1:30, she came to my office. Robert had told her about my projects. She already knew the numbers. 20% sales growth this quarter. Impressive, she said. You must love what you do, I shrugged. I just try to stay consistent. Consistency is rare, she said, jotting notes. Most people get bored before they get better. She smiled slightly. So, tell me, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I laughed quietly. Honestly, a week ago I had an answer for that. Now I don't. She looked up. Rough weekend? You could say that. She didn't push, just nodded. Sometimes life does that. Forces you to rewrite your plan. Her tone was steady, understanding, but not nosy. I hesitated, then said, my girlfriend, or ex, maybe. She's been lying to me. I overheard something I wasn't supposed to. Andrea didn't flinch. I'm sorry. She planned to embarrass me, in front of her family. She was seeing someone else the whole time. That's cruel. It was calculated, like I was just an option. Andrea leaned back in her chair. And what are you going to do about it? End it, I said. Cleanly. No drama, no yelling, just done. She nodded slowly. That's harder than it sounds. I know. You're calm, she said. Most people would want revenge. Revenge doesn't fix anything. It just keeps you in the same place. A faint smile crossed her lips. You're not like most people, Ethan. Not sure that's a compliment. It is. We talked for another hour, about work, plans, people, and choices. When we finished, she handed me her card. If you ever want to talk off the record, call me. Sometimes a stranger listens better than a friend. Thanks, I said, meaning it. And Ethan, she added before leaving. Whoever did that to you doesn't deserve another second of your time, I nodded. I'm starting to realize that. Later that afternoon, Tyler stopped by my desk with 2 coffees. You meet the new consultant? He asked. Yeah, Andrea. She's sharp. Met her earlier. No nonsense. I like her. Same. My phone buzzed. Lauren, how's Chicago? I miss you. Me. Meetings all day. Exhausting. Call you later. Lauren, love you. I stared at the message for a moment before turning off my phone. Tyler caught the look. Still pretending everything's normal, huh? Until the weekend, I said quietly. That's when you end it? Yeah, he nodded. Need backup? I'll handle it. The rest of the week, Andrea stopped by my desk a few times for follow-ups. Each time felt less like work and more like talking to someone who actually saw me. She didn't pity me. She just understood. By Wednesday, she asked if I wanted to grab lunch. We went to a quiet cafe near the office. Over sandwiches, she asked, "Do you have family nearby?" "Just my mom in Arizona. We talk, but not much." She nodded. "I get it. I moved here 6 months ago. Fresh start. Divorce?" I guessed. She smiled wryly. "Good guess." "Sorry." "Don't be. It was the right choice. He was controlling. Manipulative. How long were you married?" 5 years. The last 2 were hell. How did you know it was time to leave? She stirred her coffee. When the silence felt better than his company, I knew exactly what she meant. "That's the look," she said softly. "You felt it too." "Yeah," I admitted, "that same emptiness." "You'll be fine, Ethan, I promise. It hurts now, but it's clarity, and clarity is power." I smiled faintly. "You should make that your consulting motto." She laughed. A real laugh, not the fake, polite kind. "Maybe I will." Thursday afternoon, Lauren showed up at my office unannounced. "Surprise," she said, forcing a smile. I froze. "What are you doing here? I missed you. Thought we could grab lunch. I have a meeting in 10 minutes. She frowned. "You've been avoiding me all week." "What's going on?" "Nothing." "Don't lie to me, I can feel it." "Lauren, drop it." She stepped closer, lowering her voice. "Do you still love me?" The question hit like a punch. A week ago, I would have said yes without thinking. Now the word wouldn't come. "I have to go," I said, walking past her. She stood there, eyes glassy. "Ethan, please." But I didn't turn back. Friday night, Andrea invited me for coffee after work. "Last day of my formal sessions," she said. "Wanted to say goodbye properly." We met at a quiet cafe, far from the office crowd. "Finished your report?" I asked. "Almost. Then it's on to Boston Monday." "Boston?" She nodded. "New project. 6 weeks." A small ache hit my chest. I hadn't realized how much I'd gotten used to talking to her. "That's great," I said. "Hey," she said softly. "Keep in touch, okay?" "Here." She handed me her personal number. "Thanks," I said. She smiled. "Ethan, you're going to be fine. You're not broken. Just rebuilding." "I hope so. I know so." As we stood to leave, she added, "And please, don't go back to her." "I won't." "Good." She gave me a quick hug, professional but warm. "Take care of yourself." "You too, Andrea." That night, Lauren tried to make dinner. Chicken and potatoes, my favorite. "I thought we could eat together," she said. "Sure." We ate mostly in silence. Afterward, she looked at me across the table. "Ethan, we can't keep doing this. You're cold, distant. I don't even recognize you anymore." "Maybe I'm just tired." "It's not just tired. It's like you don't love me anymore." I met her eyes. "And does that bother you?" "Of course it does. You're my boyfriend." I almost laughed. "Boyfriend or backup plan?" Her face went pale. "What did you just say?" "Nothing. Forget it." "No." "Say it again." I leaned back. "Forget it, Lauren." She stared at me, speechless. That night, I slept on the couch. Tomorrow would be the end. Saturday morning, I woke up before the sun. Lauren was still asleep, her breathing slow and steady. I moved quietly, made coffee, and sat at the kitchen table. The envelope of evidence sat there, thick and heavy. Messages, photos, withdrawals, the eviction notice, everything I needed. At 8 a.m., I called Mr. Bennett. "Ethan," he answered, surprised. "Good morning, son. Everything all right?" "I need to talk to you," I said. "Today, if possible." "Of course. Want to come to the house?" "I'd rather meet somewhere neutral." "The cafe on Main Street." He paused. "Sure. 10 o'clock? Perfect. Thank you." I left a note for Lauren. Went for a run. Back later. Mr. Bennett arrived exactly on time. He was always punctual, always composed. "Coffee?" he asked as we sat down. "I already ordered, thanks." He studied my face. "You look tired, Ethan. What's going on?" I reached into my bag and placed the envelope on the table. "I need you to see this." He opened it and began reading. At first, confusion, then disbelief, finally, heartbreak. His hands trembled slightly as he looked up. "Where did you get these?" "From Lauren's phone. I had a friend recover the deleted messages." He looked back down, eyes scanning faster now. When he reached the messages with Brandon Chen's name, he stopped reading altogether. She was seeing this man?" I nodded. "For months. He offered her a job in San Francisco. She planned to reject me publicly first, to teach me a lesson." Her words. Mr. Bennett sat back in his chair, looking older than I'd ever seen him. I don't even know what to say. I didn't want to believe it either. He exhaled slowly. What are you going to do? I already have. I opened a new account, found a new place, and I'm serving her notice today. He blinked. Notice? The apartment's under my name. She has 30 days to move out. He rubbed his forehead. That's fair. Painful, but fair. Mr. Bennett, I said quietly, I'm sorry you had to see this. You've always treated me like family. He shook his head. Don't you apologize for her actions. You did everything right. You respected her, supported her, and this is how she repaid you. I'll be fine, I said. Eventually, he folded the papers carefully and slid them back into the envelope. Can I keep a copy? Of course. My wife needs to know the truth. I understand. He stood up slowly, placing a hand on my shoulder. Ethan, you're a good man. What my daughter did is unforgivable. You deserve better. Thank you, sir. We walked out together. In the parking lot, he pulled me into a brief hug. You'll find someone who treats you right. I know it. I hope so. When I got home around 11, Lauren was sitting at the kitchen table with her coffee, scrolling through her phone. Thought you went running, she said. I did. Then I had a meeting. On a Saturday? Yeah. With who? Your dad. She froze, cup halfway to her lips. My dad? Why? I set the envelope on the table, because I needed to show him something. Her eyes flicked to the envelope. What's that? The truth. She reached for it, but I opened it first and spread the pages across the table. Messages, photos, bank records. Her face drained of color. Ethan, what is this? You tell me. Where did you get this? Did you go through my phone? I did. This is a violation of privacy, she snapped. This is a collection of lies, I said calmly. Yours. She stood up suddenly, hands shaking. You don't understand. Those messages. Megan and I were joking. Joking, I laughed bitterly. About humiliating me? About another man offering you a job? About using me until something better came along? It's not what it looks like. Then explain it to me, Lauren. What is it? She sat back down, breathing uneven. I was confused. I didn't know what I wanted. You knew exactly what you wanted. Control. Tears welled up in her eyes. Ethan, please, I love you. I made a mistake. No, I said quietly. A mistake is forgetting an anniversary. This was a plan. She reached for my arm. I stepped back. Don't touch me. Please, baby, don't do this. We can fix it. There's nothing to fix. Her voice broke. I love you. I swear I do. You don't even know what that means, I said. You don't love. You manipulate. My phone buzzed. Tyler, you okay? Did you tell her? I texted back. Yeah, it's done. Need me to come over? No. I'm fine. Lauren's voice cracked. Was that Tyler? Does he know too? Your dad knows. Your sister will soon. And your mom. Your dad has the proof. Her knees buckled, and she dropped into the chair, sobbing. You told my dad, she whispered. He deserved to know what kind of person his daughter really is. You can't. Ethan, please, don't ruin me like this. I didn't ruin you. You did that yourself. Tears streamed down her face. Just give me another chance. Please. I'll change. You had 4 years of chances. She stood, desperate now. Where am I supposed to go? That's not my problem. I pulled the final paper from the envelope, the eviction notice, and handed it to her. She stared at it, lips trembling. You can't be serious. I am. Her tears fell onto the page, smudging the ink. You can't do this. I can. The lease is in my name. You have 30 days. Ethan, please. I walked to the door, grabbed my jacket. When I come back tonight, I want you calm. Start packing. Where are you going? Out. That's it? You're just leaving? That's it. I closed the door behind me. My hands were shaking, not from fear, but from relief. When I pulled up at Tyler's place, he opened the door before I even knocked. Well? He asked. It's done, I said. She cried, begged, denied everything. Did you feel bad? No, I said quietly. I felt free. He smiled sadly. Good. You deserve that. We ordered pizza and spent the rest of the evening watching a game in silence. For the first time in months, I didn't feel like I was drowning. My phone buzzed again. A message from Chloe. Dad told me everything. I'm so sorry, Ethan. She doesn't deserve your forgiveness. Thank you, Chloe. I'll be okay. If you need anything, I'm here. I know. Thank you. Another message came in right after. Andrea, how's your weekend going? Interesting. Ended things with my girlfriend today. I had a feeling. You okay? Yeah. It was time. Good. You're stronger than you think, or just tired of lies. Either way, you did the right thing. I set my phone down and leaned back. Tyler looked over. Andrea? Yeah, she seems good for you. I don't know yet, but she's real. That's a start. When I got home that night, the apartment was quiet. Lauren's bedroom door was closed. I could hear faint sobs through the wall. A part of me wanted to knock, to comfort her, but that part of me didn't have a voice anymore. I lay down on the couch and fell asleep within minutes, and for the first time in a long time, I slept peacefully. Sunday morning sunlight filled the living room. For a moment I forgot where I was. Then I saw the packed boxes by the wall, and it all came rushing back. Lauren was in the kitchen when I sat up, wearing one of my old hoodies, her eyes swollen. I made breakfast, she said quietly. Pancakes. Your favorite. I'm not hungry. She looked crushed. Ethan, please, just sit. We need to talk. I sighed and sat across from her at the table. You've got 5 minutes, I said. Her voice shook. You were right about everything. I lied. I used you. I planned things I never should have, and I hate myself for it. Okay. She blinked. That's all you're going to say? What do you want me to say, Lauren? That I forgive you? That we can go back to the way things were? I want you to give me another chance. I can't. Why not? People make mistakes. I can change. I leaned forward, my voice steady, because I don't trust you, and without trust, there's nothing left. She dropped her gaze to the plate of pancakes she'd barely touched. So that's it? After 4 years? Yeah, that's it. Tears slid down her cheeks. You don't even want to try? There's nothing left to try for. She stood abruptly and went to the bedroom, slamming the door behind her. I stayed at the table for a while, staring at the untouched food. It should have hurt more than it did. But instead, all I felt was peace. My phone buzzed, a text from Andrea. Good morning. Feeling any lighter today? A little. Want to grab coffee? I'm staying in town a few more days. I'd like that. Same place as last time? Yeah. 1 hour. I showered, got dressed, and grabbed my keys. Lauren came out of the bedroom as I was putting on my jacket. Where are you going? Coffee? With who? A friend. You don't have friends here. I looked her straight in the eye. Now I do. I walked out before she could say another word. Andrea was already at the cafe, sitting by the window with a book in her hand. She looked up and smiled when she saw me. Hey, she said. You look better. I feel better. Good. She nodded. It's strange, isn't it? How peace feels like a void at first. Yeah, I said. It's quiet, but I'll take quiet over chaos any day. We ordered coffee and talked for hours. About work, travel, family. Nothing deep, nothing heavy. Just normal conversation, and it felt good. When I told her about moving into my new apartment soon, she smiled. Fresh start. Exactly. You know, she said softly, you did everything right. You didn't explode, didn't lash out, you just walked away. That takes strength. I didn't feel strong. I felt empty. That's usually what strength feels like at first. I smiled faintly. You should be a therapist instead of a consultant. She laughed. Maybe someday. We finished our coffee, and as I stood to leave, she touched my hand. Ethan, you're going to be fine. I can see it. I'm starting to believe it. 6 months later, the apartment finally felt like home. 2 bedrooms, clean, quiet, filled with light. Everything in it was mine. Tyler helped me hang the last picture frame on the wall. Looks good, man, he said. You've come a long way. Yeah, I said. Feels like a lifetime ago. Is Andrea coming by today? In an hour. She got back from Boston last night. He grinned. You two serious yet? We're figuring it out, but it's different. Better. Good. You deserve that. My phone buzzed. Chloe. Hey, Ethan, can you talk? Sure. What's up? Just wanted you to know, Lauren moved to San Francisco. With Brandon? No. He dumped her when Dad sent him the messages. Said he didn't want someone who lies. Wow. Yeah. She got a job out there, but not the one he promised. Lower pay, smaller company. How's she doing? Honestly, miserable. But that's her mess now, not yours. Agreed. Mom and Dad still talk about you, by the way. They'd love to see you sometime. Maybe someday, when I'm ready. Take your time. You earned your peace. I smiled, set my phone down, and told Tyler. She moved, he dumped her. He whistled. Karma doesn't miss. No, I said, it really doesn't. An hour later, Andrea knocked on the door. When I opened it, she was standing there in jeans and a soft sweater, her hair down, eyes bright. Wow, she said, stepping inside. This place is perfect. Thanks, I said, still getting used to calling it mine. She looked around, smiling. It feels like peace in here. Yeah, I said. That's the idea. We sat on the couch, coffee in hand, and talked about her project in Boston, my promotion at work, and small things that made big differences. You know what I like about this? She said suddenly. What? I don't have to guess what you're thinking. You just say it. I laughed. I learned the hard way that silence doesn't solve anything. Good lesson. She set her cup down and took a breath. Ethan, can I ask you something? Sure. Are you over her? Really? I thought about it. The hurt, the betrayal, the long nights staring at the ceiling. Not completely, I said honestly. But it doesn't control me anymore. She smiled softly. That's enough. Why do you ask? Because I want to try this, you and me. But I need to know you're ready. I hesitated, then said, if I'm not fully ready yet, would you wait? Yeah, she said. I would. I smiled. Then yeah, there's a chance. She reached across the couch and took my hand. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't fireworks. It was real. We spent the afternoon watching movies. She fell asleep on my shoulder halfway through, and for once, I didn't feel the need to move or fill the silence. When she woke up, it was dark. Sorry, she said. Didn't mean to fall asleep. You're fine. She stood, stretched. Dinner tomorrow? Yeah, I'd like that. At the door, she hugged me and whispered, thanks for giving me a chance. Thanks for being patient. When the door closed, I sat there for a long moment. The quiet felt good. Safe. Then my phone buzzed. An unknown number. It was Lauren. Ethan, I know you don't want to hear from me, but I need to say this. I'm sorry. For everything. I lost the best thing I ever had. Brandon dumped me when he found out the truth. My parents barely speak to me. Chloe won't answer my calls. I ruined everything. But I'm glad you're happy. You deserve that. I mean it. I'm sorry. I read it twice. I felt something, but it wasn't anger or satisfaction. It was peace. I didn't reply. I just blocked the number, set the phone down, and exhaled. The next night, Andrea and I had dinner at a small Italian place near my apartment. Between laughter and stories, she said, you know what I learned after my divorce? What? That real love doesn't control, doesn't manipulate, doesn't play games. I nodded. Yeah. Real love chooses you every day because it wants to, not because it needs to. She smiled. Exactly. She reached across the table. So, do you choose me? Every day, I said, so far. And you? She asked. I choose you, I said, meaning every word. Over the next few months, everything felt simple. We saw each other a few times a week, shared meals, shared plans, shared space, but never pressure. One Saturday, 6 months later, Andrea showed up with a small box. What's this? I asked. My stuff, she said with a grin. If you still want me to move in. We'd talked about it weeks ago, but hearing her say it still surprised me. Are you sure? Completely. Are you? Yeah, I said. I am. That weekend, we moved her things in together. No drama, no fights, no tension, just quiet teamwork. While organizing the closet, she opened my desk drawer and found something. What's this? The ring, the one I'd bought for Lauren. I froze. It's old. Didn't know what to do with it. It's beautiful, she said softly. It doesn't mean anything anymore. She smiled gently. Then sell it. Use the money for something that does mean something. She was right. The next day, I sold it. Used the money to book a trip to Costa Rica. For both of us. When I showed her the tickets, she gasped. Ethan. You didn't. I did. You said you wanted to see the ocean. Let's make new memories. She hugged me. I love you. It was the first time she'd said it, and for the first time in a long time, I said it back, without hesitation. I love you too. A year later, I married her. A small ceremony. Close friends, family, Tyler as my best man. Even Chloe came, along with Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. Mr. Bennett hugged me. You made the right choice, son. This He nodded toward Andrea. This is what real love looks like. I know, I said. I finally do. Lauren wasn't there. According to Chloe, she was still in San Francisco, still alone, still chasing something she couldn't find, and I didn't feel triumph, just gratitude. On our honeymoon in Costa Rica, Andrea and I walked along the beach one evening. The sky glowed orange, waves soft and rhythmic. Are you happy? She asked. Completely. Do you ever think about her? Sometimes, I admitted, but only as a lesson, not a regret. What lesson? That real love doesn't hurt. It doesn't humiliate. It doesn't need control. Andrea smiled and stopped walking. And this? This, I said, pulling her close. This is real. We kissed as the sun dipped into the horizon. Not cinematic, not dramatic, just real. And that was enough. Months later, over dinner one quiet night, Andrea said, "You know what I'm grateful for?" "What?" "That what she did made you ready for me." I smiled. You might be right. The pain made you stronger, wiser. It made you you. And your past did the same for you, I said. It prepared you for me. She leaned over, kissed me softly. That night, lying beside her, I thought about everything that had happened since that moment outside my old apartment. The voice, the betrayal, the breaking, the rebuilding. I hadn't needed revenge. I hadn't needed to destroy her. I just needed to walk away. And in doing so, I'd found something better. Not just Andrea, myself, my peace, my worth, my life. Lauren lost everything trying to find something better. I let everything go and found everything that truly mattered. That was the real victory. And as Andrea slept beside me, I knew I hadn't won against her. I'd finally won for me.